Grand Central Terminal in New York City, Manhattan. And up above here in the Bronx, tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by the DirecTV HD Starship. Get over 130 of your favorite channels in HD this summer. Whether you're in Midtown or downtown or the Upper East Side or the Upper West Side, anywhere across this city and across this country, if you're tuned in, you're watching a classic game, this All-Star game, 79th version of it, as Joakim Soria from the Royals takes over. As we are in the 11th inning, a 3-3 game, and the job that Aaron Cook just did to keep it 3-3 was remarkable.
And Joe, I don't think it's premature to ask the question, are we looking at another tie like we did in 2002 in Milwaukee?
Well, I know Bud Selig is here, and that would, on a night like this, be everybody's worst nightmare. But again, the American League is out of position players as Gonzalez is on to start the 11th. You can reinsert a catcher if someone were to get hurt. But there are no other position players available. And then pitching. The pitching is getting interesting because neither one of these two managers, whether it's Terry Francona of the Red Sox or Clint Hurdle of the National League side, want to turn a pitcher back to their team after the All-Star break. And I guarantee you that's at least been part of the conversation down in those dugouts, doing something that they shouldn't have been asked to do.
Right.
And it's not talking out of school to say that the Tampa Bay Rays wished and hoped that Scott Kazmir would not be used tonight in this game. He's with the Rays and obviously in the same division and only a half game behind Terry Francona's Boston Red Sox, as he is one of the front men in that young rotation with the Rays. That means that the only other pitcher available to the AL, if you take Kazmir off the board, is George Sherrill, who's a closing left-hander with the Orioles, other than the man on the mound, Joakim Soria. That is it.
And Soria and Sherrill are both one-inning pitchers. Kazmir, by the way, was on the disabled list earlier in the year for about a month with Tampa Bay.
1 ball, 2 strikes on David Wright. Second at bat of the night for him, and he strikes out for the first out here in the 11th. So he's had 2 at bats, and he strikes out. He was the roster replacement for the injured Alfonso Soriano. There's Kazmir on the left and George Sherrill on the right. They're the only 2 left, and Terry Francona wants to go through this game and not use Scott Kazmir. Who knows if he will have that luxury and that choice to make.
Right.
1 on, 1 out. Guzman takes a strike over the inside corner. Christian was a pinch runner for Ramos Ramirez in the 9th and was caught stealing by Deoner Navarro to end the top of the 9th. So he gets his first chance to swing it. And he is in the hole 0-2. Guzman came into the break hitting .313, 7th best average in the National League, and number 1 in the National League with 126 hits. He pops one into right center field. Going to get it is Grady Sizemore. 2 out. Back to first is Gonzalez. He was there with nobody out. He's there with 2 out. And Corey Hart will walk to the plate. This week on Fox Saturday Baseball, the Red Sox visit the Angels. Padres take on the Cardinals, or the Phillies battle the Florida Marlins. Check local listings for the game in your area. Our coverage begins Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific in high def right here on Fox. Here's Corey Hart. Fly to right his first time up. And he takes a ball from Soria. On deck is Ryan Ludwig. Some have left. Most have stayed here at Yankee Stadium as we are now playing into Wednesday morning. 12:11 on the scoreboard clock. 2-0 is the count on Corey Hart. Now that they've attached the significance of home field advantage being awarded to the winning league in the All-Star game, you start talking about ties.
I get your drift.
You're gonna have a home run hitting contest or what? 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed by Hart. 2-2.
Have a free kick.
Have to figure something out. Maybe a dance-off. But these managers don't want any part of where this thing is headed right now unless somebody pops one. And it won't be Corey Hart. He flips one into right. J.D. Drew waits for it. A leadoff hit by Gonzalez. He is left stranded. That is only 6 runners stranded on tonight by the NL. Bottom of the 11th, tied at 3.
Perfect beer deserves the perfect pour. Right down the middle, releasing all the flavor. Perfect.
Well, call me a perfectionist.
Ground ball right side, base hit. Tying run is in. 2 down, bottom of the 9th. Driving over the air, deep left field. Cubs win, a game-winning 2-run homer. Cubs win again.
You know that place where the love of the game is the real souvenir?
I'm there.
State Farm, proud sponsor of Major League moments everywhere.
This Labor Day, when summer ends, Fox Ball is going to shine.
We could take a family vacation. Somewhere with hot guys.
Somewhere with hot guys. I was going to say that.
This is for Sarah.
Come on, John, come on.
You little... What's up, player?
I don't know where all this is coming from.
Olivia Dunham, FBI.
Strange things happening.
With the new year, the future of America's pastime arrives. This January, it's opening day for Major League Baseball's one and only network. And for the fan who wants and needs their game every day of the year, well, your prayers have been answered. The Major League Baseball Network will be here with a new year and every day thereafter.
Bobby Mercer, longtime Yankee, died on Saturday at the age of 62 years old after a 19-month battle with brain cancer. And for Bobby Mercer, not just a longtime Yankee, was with New York from 65 to 74 and then again from 79 to 83. Played from 65 to 83 overall, a 5-time All-Star, 252 home runs as Kinsler lines one into center for a base hit. But Tim, a former broadcast partner of yours, an announcer here with the Yankees for 23 years and one of the sweetest men you could ever meet.
I mean, when someone passes, there is, you know, the very, very few people about which nothing bad can be said. And that is the greatest tribute about Bobby Mercer.
He will be missed, and a big part of the Yankee family is missing on this celebration at Yankee Stadium here tonight. Yonder Navarro is at the plate. Winning run is at first with nobody out after the hit by Kinsler, his first hit of the night. And Navarro takes a ball showing a bunt. It's Navarro now, then J.D. Drew and Michael Young. Guzman is about even with the bag at the start over at third, and Adrian Gonzalez holds against Kinsler at first.
This makes a lot of sense. A straight sacrifice to get Kinsler to second, who may then try to steal third.
Deanna Navarro waits for a 1-0 pitch. Swinging, so they abandon the bunt at least on that pitch, and it counts 1-1. DeMarlo Hale is the third base coach. Louis Alisei is the first base coach for manager Terry Francona. And it would be the simplest of signs on this night with these teams getting together and Navarro getting the signs from Hale as to what to do at the plate. A check on Kinsler, and Cook trying to keep Ian honest over at first. As we mentioned earlier, Kinsler is 5th best in the American League with 23 steals, and he's been caught only once all year. There he goes, a pitch out. Martin's throw in time for out number 1. Kinsler didn't agree with the call, but that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 11th. Ian Kinsler caught stealing.
So instead of sacrificing him to second, allowing Kinsler to try to steal third, it looked like he was in there. That right foot, let's see.
I don't think he made the tag.
I don't think he made the tag.
Kinsler knew it. Second base umpire is Tom Hallion. Meanwhile, the count has gone to 3-1 and another look.
Watch a swipe tag by Tejada. He never tagged him.
Here's a 3-1 to Navarro. 3-2. 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Aaron Cook. We saw last October pitching for the Colorado Rockies. There is Brandon Webb going down to the bullpen as ball 4 is low to Navarro, and the winning run is on again, this time with 1 out. Eric Karros is with us, and he was down in the dugout. Witnessed Brandon Webb going over to talk to Clint Hurdle, and now after spending the game in the dugout, he has volunteered his services to go down and pitch. He was not really on the active list. He was here, obviously available, but it was Clint Hurdle's instruction to try and avoid using him. 1 on, 1 out. Thru bounces one up the middle, a base hit. Navarro will hold at second as J.D. Thru has his second hit of the night. But again, because the American League is out of bench players, Deanna Navarro, who does not run well out at second base, is the lead runner, and that could play a role here in the bottom of the 11th as Michael Young will try to recreate what he did a couple of years ago in 2006 in Pittsburgh off Trevor Hoffman, the game-winning base hit. Since 03, Michael Young has a .357 average with runners in scoring position, highest in the big leagues, and he takes a fastball for strike 1. This guy, Tim, is just a professional hitter.
Professional player. Defensively on the bases and at the plate.
In his 9th season with the Texas Rangers, the 0-1 pitch outside. He's had 200 hits, 90 or more RBIs in 4 straight seasons. A .300 career hitter. As we showed you, outstanding with runners in scoring position. Lead man is Navarro. 1 out in the 11th. That misses for ball 2. 2-1. Remember, this followed the leadoff hit by Kinsler. He was out stealing. On that call at second, a walk to Navarro, a hit by Drew, and now a 2-1 to Michael Young. Up the middle, base hit. Here comes Navarro. McLeod throws to the plate. Here it is, and out to keep it tied. Second out of the inning as Navarro is thrown out by Nate McLeod from center field.
What a play by Russell Martin, the catcher. An in-between hop. The throw beat him. A strong throw from McLeod. Watch the in-between hop. And watch blocking home plate by Russell Martin. You talk about a tough play. Great play by Martin.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Again, you look at that play and watch the foot of Navarro come in, and the question is, when did the glove hit his leg? It was awfully close. Out is the call, and it's still 3-3. What a play. Look at that hop. And Navarro is tagged as he goes by. McLeod throws him out. Now second and third, 2 out for Quinton. Three out of the last 5 outs picked up by the National League defensively have come at home plate. Force outs at the plate in the 10th. A tag out here in the 11th. It takes a hit from Quinton to win it. We mentioned the last time he was up that he has the most game-winning hits in the big leagues this season with 13. Can he do it here on the 15th of July? The 2-0 pitch from Aaron Cook. Left side. Guzman makes the play, throws for the out. What a play by Christian Guzman to his left as he got the high hop. Through on the move across the infield. But here's the play, the throw from McLeod, the tag by Russell Martin, and we are going to the 12th.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh rate, there isn't a shot in the hole or a streamer down the line that will singe the hair in your nostrils. It will change your baseball-loving life.
Aqua's LCD TV. Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
Sure, a lot's changed over the years, but you two do have a groovy thing going on. Don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra has been proven to help men with all degrees of ED. America's most prescribed ED treatment is marking its 10th anniversary. Want to learn more? The facts are there to greet you at Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Relationships in life are more important than the one between you and your Michelin tires. Rugged, long-lasting Michelin truck tires. Michelin, a better way forward.
12th inning now. Coming up on 12:30 in the East. And Ryan Ludwig is first up for the National League against Joaquin Soria. Ludwig and the Cardinals played a home and home with the Kansas City Royals this year, so these two have faced one another this season. The 1-0 pitch is shot foul off to the right. Mentioned earlier that Ryan Ludwig checks into this game with his 21 homer. Aaron Cook into and out of trouble in the top of this, in the bottom of the 11th, and now Ryan Ludwig starts the top of the 12th for the walk. In a game that was absolutely flying by early, in the 79th All-Star game, Evan Longoria with a game-tying RBI double in the 8th. Adrian Gonzalez with a sac fly. J.D. Drew with a 2-run shot in the 7th. Here's McCloud getting a bunt down first base side. It's perfect. The shovel to first, safe. Kinsler a little late getting over, and the flip from Morneau was a little high, and McCloud hustling beat it.
There was a hesitation on Morneau's part because he thought that Soria was going to field the ball, but flying down the line was McCloud, and he is safe. Moment's hesitation on Morneau's part. I think he thought Soria was going to field the ball, and McCloud beats it for a hit.
So McCloud, who threw out Deanna Navarro at the plate moments ago in the bottom of the 11th inning, is on with a base hit following the walk. And now it's Russell Martin who has been a big piece of what's gone on here tonight for the National League. He pushes a bunt to first. Morneau fields it. It may have gone foul, but he takes the out, and the runners advance to second and third.
And the National League's happy that Morneau made that decision, because that ball definitely goes foul if he lets it go. But of course, I guess you take the out like the 3 points in football. Take it.
So the feed to Kinsler going to the bag, and here's a better look at it right down the line. That ball checked and went right. But the play was made, and now Tejada, who's been outstanding both offensively, defensively, with his legs, stealing a base. He's done a little bit of everything. Will be intentionally passed to load him up.
And look who it's up to again.
Dan Uggla. There's ball 3. Brad Lidge is getting ready to try and close it if the National League grabs a 12th inning lead. So the bases are loaded. Uggla had a rough couple of moments earlier in this game. He took over in the 6th. As you look at this All-Star game fact, this being the longest game with regard to time. But it was Uggla who came up in the 10th inning with first and third one out, bounced into an inning-ending double play, and then moments later made back-to-back errors on a ball hit by Young. This one scorched by Quinton. Eventually the National League walked the bases loaded, and Aaron Cook did a fantastic job of getting out of it. And now Uggla goes after a high fastball and comes up empty, strike 1. Ludwig, the lead runner at third. McCloud and Tejada behind him. The 0-1. Strike 2 on Uggla. And Joaquim Soria now trying to get out of trouble, with Adrian Gonzalez, a left-handed hitting first baseman, on deck. The 0-2. A breaking ball. Uggla fooled, and he strikes out for out number 2.
Talk about a knee buckler. Look at the knees of Dan Uggla. What a curveball from Soria.
And so now 2 out in the inning. Uggla slams his helmet down, and Terry Francona is going to make the walk out to the mound. Adrian Gonzalez is the lefty, and George Sherrill is going to come out of the bullpen for the American League. Who's left down there? Scott Kazmir. Bases loaded, top of the 12th. 2 out, tied at 3.
J.D. Power & Associates' highest-ranked mid-size car in initial quality. Quality you can see and hear. The all-new Chevy Malibu. Built to last. Built to love.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd.
Baby Ruth is proud to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. See the videos at MLB.com/BabyRuth.
So you consider yourselves business travelers, huh? Well, meet the legend, Joe Polsky. He once did 18 straight sales calls on nothing but a pillow mint. He actually trademarked his handshake, the Polsky Pump.
Did he ever get 2,000 bonus points for staying 2 nights at a Holiday Inn?
Maybe 2 Major League Baseball tickets for staying 8 nights?
No, but he once had a heart attack, woke up, and sold the paramedics 12 dozen steak knives. That was Polsky.
The more you stay, the more you earn. Holiday Inn.
Oh, my God.
Someone out there is experimenting. Only the whole world is their lab. Now we wait.
Wishes can come true. Daniel met the LA Angels with his cousin Sammy, right?
Make-A-Wish Foundation grants a wish every 40 minutes.
To children with life-threatening medical conditions.
I wanted to go to Wrigley Field. Fox Sports Supports invites you to join our team and support Make-A-Wish Foundation.
There are lots of ways to help, from making a donation to volunteering.
Together, we can bring joy and magic to children who really need both.
Make-A-Wish. Please go to wish.org.
With the pitching change, the only reliever available to Terry Francona now is somebody who he wanted to avoid using, Scott Kazmir, for the American League in the bullpen. Meanwhile, it won't matter if George Sherrill doesn't do his job and get Adrian Gonzalez. It's a tie game, bases loaded, 2 out, and Gonzalez takes a strike. Sherrill is an interesting story. A former specialty reliever and a lefty has taken over as the closer for the Baltimore Orioles. Got off to a great start, has struggled a little lately, and here he is with no margin for error. And coming out of the bullpen throwing strikes, it's 0-2. Bases loaded, 2 out. It was bases loaded, 1 out. Ugla struck out. How about Sherrill coming out of the bullpen with the sacks jammed and striking out Adrian Gonzalez to keep it 3-3. As we go to the bottom of the 12th, we'll come back after a word from your local Fox station.
James Toney takes on Hasim Rahman for the heavyweight title. The best damn championship fight night period. This week on FSN.
Weekdays at 5.
Outrageous. Out of control. Passionate.
And who? What did you call me?
Explosive.
This is not going to end well.
Get the whole story 5 days a week. The Simpsons.
Weekdays at 5 on Fox 18. Weekdays at 5:30. Only in Queens.
I smile constantly. People think I'm a lunatic half the time.
Can a man like this,
walrus,
find a woman like this? who will love,
Quiet.
honor,
Quiet.
and obey
Shut up!
every day. This special man is
Did I happen to mention that I'm bottomless right now?
the King of Queens. Weekdays at 5:30 on Fox 18.
You know what, Carrie? I'm a delicious piece of man meat, and you're just gonna have to learn to deal with it.
Weeknights at 6.
2.5 Men presents manly rule number 31. Respect your elders.
Mom? Hang on, dear.
Hello?
Alan, I'm in the neighborhood, and I know how Charlie hates it when I just drop in unannounced. So I thought I'd call first.
Charlie, Mom's coming over. Tell her I'm not here.
5 nights a week, it's 2.5 Men.
Weeknights at 6 on Fox 18. Weeknights at 9:30.
Here in Hollywood, somebody's got to wait on the red carpet to show off the gowns. It's just not us.
Let me see the camera, by the way. Come here.
We're TMZ. The Hollywood stories.
We're giving TMZ TV content here.
You won't see
We have this unbelievable tape.
I'm a nice guy. Anywhere else.
You and I, we never,
Somebody's got to keep it real.
I'm just like you.
TMZ.
Weeknights at 9:30 on Fox 18. Turn on the Fox 18 nightlight with an hour of Raymond. Weeknights at 10 on Fox 18.
Aaron Cook back to work, and Guillen hits it into deep left field. Back at the wall. It is off the wall. Played by Ludwig, and the winning run is at second on a leadoff double by Carlos Guillen to start the 12th. First pitch swinging, and a double over the head of Ludwig in left.
Tough thing about this play for Ryan Ludwig was that there's no trail guy like a center fielder to come and back up the play. So you have to kind of keep it close. And once that ball caroms back into left field, it was just a matter of whether it was going to be a double or a triple for Guillen. Carlos not a fast runner and stops at second.
Now it's Grady Sizemore, who is 1 for 3 since entering this game in the 5th. He could end a long night of baseball. And Cook gives a look back at Guillen at second.
Joe, you mentioned Grady Sizemore's power, and can you believe Corey Hart's playing as shallow as he is in right field? He is playing for a single, thinking that if the ball's over my head, the game's over anyway. So why not play shallow?
Winning run at second, nobody out. 12th inning, and Sizemore hits it to Ugla, knocks it down, gets the out. Over to third is Guillen, one away. So again, 90 feet away is the winning run for the American League, and again, Dan Ugla has a tough time coming up cleanly with a ground ball. Sizemore advances the runner. The infield comes in. And here's Evan Longoria, who bounced into a force out at the plate his last time up with the bases loaded. Takes a strike from Aaron Cook. Longoria with a 2-out RBI double to tie it in the 8th. Had a chance to end it and win it in the 10th with the bases loaded, 1 out. Bounced to third, and Guzman, who's never played third, by the way, in the big leagues, threw home to get the out. That's a little bit upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Infield is in for the play at the plate. Longoria grounds to third. It's a foul ball. What a play by Russell Martin anyway. But it's a foul ball. This guy is a magician.
You talk about picking it. He picked the throw from center field from Nate McLeod. And now this ball, of course, Martin does not know whether it's fair or foul. Obviously it's foul. The throw by Guzman. And in between hop again, he's got the umpire to worry about, the base runner and the bat. And he still made the play, but the ball was foul. It's pretty impressive. Wow.
How about those hands?
I'm telling you.
Meanwhile, it's a 1-2 count on Evan Longoria. And a strikeout for out number 2. Good pitch down and in by Aaron Cook. And what a time for his first strikeout as he works in his 3rd inning of relief. Boy, that was perfectly placed by Aaron Cook.
That's a pitch that you normally don't get a swing through on. That ball down and in, but it dipped down so much that Longoria couldn't handle it.
Now Morneau will be intentionally passed, which is fine, but this being an all-star game, you've got a dangerous hitter on deck, and in this case, you've got Ian Kinsler, who has the top batting average in the American League, waiting in the on-deck circle.
Not only that, with a runner on at 3rd and 2 outs, he can fly, and the chances of an infield hit are much greater with Kinsler than it is with other players.
It's the 3rd walk overall, the 2nd intentional pass handed out by Cook. And now Kinsler can win it. He has a league-leading 134 hits. But so far tonight, 1 for 3. Took over in the 5th inning after pinch running for Joe Mauer. He stayed in the game, has played second base from that moment on. Is this game going to end with Kinsler at the plate and Aaron Cook on the mound, or will we go to the 13th inning? Morneau steals second, uncontested. He at least swipes second, and we'll see if it's credited with a stolen base, and Morneau is not. Fielder's indifference, but it takes the force out away at second base and a ball hit up the middle. So why not take it? 1-0 pitch to Kinsler. That's strike 1. You've got first base open with Deanna Navarro having a great year, but a less accomplished hitter on deck.
And a slower hitter.
So really, Clint Hurdle and his pitcher, Aaron Cook, can do what they wish with Ian Kinsler. And if he puts him on and walks him, I don't think he cares one bit. The 1-1. Left side, Guzman to his left. We are going to the 13th inning. A leadoff double by Carlos Guillen. Almost got out. A ground out, a strikeout, a walk, another ground out. Cook has been terrific. We're going to inning number 13.
Hey, fellas, check this out. First time I saw her, she set my world. You know, she set my world to reeling. And as the years go by for this country guy, well, we never lost the feeling. With this Billy Goat, I played my last note. I can't wait to get home. Viva Viagra.
Talk to your doctor about Viagra, America's most prescribed treatment for erectile dysfunction. Learn more at Viagra.com.
Viva Viagra.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing.
Viva Viagra.
Any more questions? Nope. This is the one I want. Cars.com had me prepared before I came in. I used my cell phone to get the car listings and pricing info. Smart. Yeah, otherwise I was going to have to go with Plan B. What's Plan B? Oh, I was going to have you fight Glondor in a Stone Circle death match. You should definitely step outside the circle. Yeah, just to avoid any confusion. Glondor, let's pack it up.
generation that swore it would never get old didn't. Welcome to the summer of life. And now there's an official hair treatment of the summer of your life. New Touch of Gray from Just for Men. Lets you keep a little gray. Works gradually. Just comb in, rinse.
Never trust anybody over 90.
Keep a little gray with New Touch of Gray.
With the national spotlight on it yet again, this stadium does not want to let go. What a game as we go to the 13th inning. 3-3. Sherrill threw 3 pitches to get out of the 12th, and he blows one right by the bat of David Wright, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Wright, then Guzman, then Hart. Down and into David Wright.
Talk about different styles. I mean, with Sherrill, his back is almost to the hitter. Nobody in baseball has as closed a stance with which to start than George Sherrill.
17 home runs during the regular season so far for David Wright, who has homered in an all-star game. Did so in his first at bat. That was back in Pittsburgh when he went deep at PNC Park. Here's a 1-2 pitch. A shattered bat and a pop fly into right center field. It will fall for a leadoff hit. David Wright is on to start the 13th inning, and Christian Guzman is coming to the plate.
The outfielders are a little deeper than they normally would be playing because of David Wright's power. Talk about a jam shot. Looked like David Wright was almost thinking that that bat, the end of the bat, was coming back at him. Now another bunt situation. I can't remember this many bunt situations in all-star games.
Sherrill steps off, doesn't throw. Well, just to assess the bullpen situations on each side, the National League is in a better position than the American League, to say the least. Pitch up and away. Not only does Clint Hurdle still have his closer Brad Lidge down there, he has Carlos Marmol, the terrific setup reliever for the Cubs, and if need be, Brandon Webb. While the American League is down to the last body down there, Kazmir, who has started to throw. And once Kazmir comes in the game, if that happens, then there is a distinct pitch count that Terry Francona has in his mind where he will let Kazmir get to it after throwing 104 pitches on Sunday and not go beyond it. Sherrill throws to second for the out. And Wright is forced on that play by George Sherrill. 1 out.
You talk about extra inning defense from both teams. Now it's Sherrill's turn. Quickly pounces on it and gets a speedy David Wright at second base.
Just to back up your point, you would have to go back to 1987 to find the last time in an all-star game there were 2 sacrifice bunts.
Wow.
Here's Corey Hart. 15 home runs during the regular season, and Sherrill hops off. We meet with these managers prior to all-star games and go over their pitching plans, which are obviously always subject to change as Hart fouls it straight back. But coming in, Terry Francona was under the instruction of trying to avoid using Scott Kazmir. According to Terry, he said Kazmir's been great about it. But it obviously comes from an organization with a young pitcher who's been on the disabled list this year, who threw over 100 pitches on Sunday. The team is contending for the first time. They finished in last place 9 out of the 10 years they've been in existence. So Terry Francona feels responsible to make sure that he handles somebody else's pitcher the right way and the way they want him handled, especially a division rival, a new division rival.
Very, very sensitive situation, no question.
So again, if Kazmir comes in, the bullpen is empty, and there is a point at which Francona won't send Kazmir back out there as Corey Hart strikes out for the second out of the inning. So Hart is gone, and Ryan Ludwig will take over. Ludwig 0 for 2 with a walk. There have been 383 pitches thrown, 29 strikeouts. With runners in scoring position, these two sides combined 3 out of 27. Ball 1 to Ludwig with 21 home runs on the year. Went into Tony La Russa's office. La Russa sat him down and said, "It's really something, isn't it?" And Ludwig said, "What?" He said, "I made the team, didn't I?" And La Russa said, "Yes, you did," and got up and gave him a hug. It's been a long road for Ryan Ludwig to get to this point. And when he found out, he hopped on his cell phone and texted his wife, Joni, who's pregnant with their first child due in November, and said, "We did it." She's been there with him, and now here he is with a chance with one swing to be a hero. But he's not getting the chance as Sherrill has run the count to 3-0.
Getting the chance is what Ludwig's all about after serving time in the minor leagues with 8 different teams, starting with Modesto, California.
.3-0 the count. McLouth on deck. Right down the middle, 92 miles per hour, 3-1. Go ahead run at first, 2 out. A 3-1 pitch. Ludwig is jammed and he pops it up. Kinsler from his second base position squeezes it, and we're still 3-3 going to the bottom of the 13th inning. Who's coming up? Navarro, Drew, and Michael Young.
This Labor Day, when summer ends, Fox Fall is going to shine.
We could take a family vacation. Somewhere with hot guys.
Somewhere with hot guys. I was going to say that.
This is for Sarah.
Come on, John, come on.
You little trick.
What's up, player?
I don't know where all this is coming from.
Disgusting!
Olivia Dunham, FBI.
Strange things happening. Patient's in cardiac arrest.
She's crashing.
Ouchie.
The best just got better. Super Bowl champion Michael Strahan joins America's #1 pregame show. Fox NFL Sunday returns this September.
Welcome back to Yankee Stadium. Well, this September, imagine the impossibilities when the television event of the season comes to Fox. Don't miss the premiere of Fringe, Tuesday, September 9th. J.J. Abrams was the co-creator of Lost, great show on ABC, and the writer of Transformers. They have built an all-new world of intrigue and adventure that will blow your mind. Fringe, Tuesday, September 9th. Right here on Fox. Monument Park, where all the Hall of Famers started their night, then onto the field. You can take the train just a short ride to the new Yankee Stadium, 63% larger than the current Yankee Stadium. They've had 1,500 construction workers on the job. The playing field dimensions will be the same as the current stadium. Backstop will be 20 feet closer to home plate. The signature frieze will wrap around the grandstands just like the old Yankee Stadium prior to the 1970s renovation. That frieze is replicated on what is the scoreboard wall out between the two grandstand areas in the outfield area above the scoreboard. As we move into the bottom of the 13th, and Marmol, who can be just flat out nasty but who has been struggling, takes over in the bottom of the 13th inning. Marmol replaced Kerry Wood, who is out unavailable with a blister. Breaking ball is chopped to second. Ugla has struggled, but he makes this play. Has time with Navarro running, one out. So Deanna is gone, and the batter will be J.D. Drew against Marmol.
Joe, you talked about how Marmol has been struggling. The Cubs had a 7-2 lead in the top of the 9th inning on Saturday, and the San Francisco Giants scored 5 to tie. The Cubs ended up winning that game in the 11th inning.
J.D. Drew comes up empty. Well, Lou Piniella has sent him to the mound, though, Tim, and you know as well as I do that with that terrific average against of still 161. As Drew takes a ball, he has a big ERA of 13.5 since the 19th of June. If the Cubs didn't want him, every other team would line up to get him.
Oh, yeah.
He is a future closer and is terrific. You can see how he hides the baseball. Very deceiving. The numbers are not good his last dozen games. The count 2-1 on Drew, who has homered and singled and struck out in his 3 at-bats. That jumps off the inside corner. 3-1. Kazmir was getting loose, and now as the clock strikes 1, Kazmir has taken a seat. Breaking ball is in for a strike. 3-2 on Drew. But there is activity out in the bullpen for the American League. There's Scott. One of the best young arms in the game. 3-2 pitch. Drew was out in front of it. Oh, a bad hop, and Ugla can't make the play. He's made a couple of errors, but that was a terrible hop that came up into the chest of Dan Ugla.
That should be a base hit, but because of the hop, Dan tried to recover him backhanded.
It's an error, and the 3rd of the night for Dan Ugla. Ugla didn't get into this game until the 6th. He has 6 all year. He's made 3 tonight, 2 in the 10th, 1 in the 13th. But in his defense, that hop, that was all the hop and not Dan Ugla.
I agree.
Here's a pitch low to Michael Young.
Well, it's down and right there. Ball comes up on him. Tried to recover, as we said, to backhand it. But the 3rd error of the ball game on Dan Ugla.
And the 4th error of the night for the National League. Now Michael Young hammers it one ball, 1 strike. Aaron Cook, by the way, was outstanding. Clint Hurdle, I'm sure, felt more comfortable using his own pitcher in that situation of throwing him out there for 3 full innings. And he dodged into and out of trouble and helped Ugla get around those 2 errors in the 10th. There's strike 2 on Michael Young. The 1-2 pitch is too far inside, 2-2. The 3 errors by Ugla is the most errors by any one player in an All-Star game. Quinton on deck. Michael Young at the plate. Full count.
Now Drew will be off. It's funny, Ugla's 3 errors have come during a time in the game when it's been as good a defense as we've ever seen in an all-star game.
With all of those plays at the plate.
Oh,
guys
terrific.
Ranging around the infield making plays.
Yep.
The dig by Adrian Gonzalez at first. There goes Drew. Strike 3. Throw down and safe. Good pickup and tag by Ugla on the end of it. But Drew is in with a steal, and now he's in scoring position with 2 out.
Watch how the short hop at second base makes the glove come up. And that's why Drew slid under it. Watch the glove. Comes up to make the play, and Drew slides under it.
Ugla did all he could, and Russell Martin's reaction, boy, he has been impressive behind home plate all night.
He really has.
So there's Drew, the winning run at second, 2 out, and again Carlos Quentin is at the plate. Representing the White Sox, he pops it foul. Backing out of play. Quentin last time up had a chance to end it and bounced out to third. Reached on an error in the 10th and flied to center to start the 8th. Good speed with J.D. Drew, the man at second. Marmol throwing hard, missing with ball 1. On deck is Guillen, who led off the last inning with a double into left, but was stranded. Good tight breaking ball, strike 2.
How about this matchup? The north side of Chicago against the south side. White Sox were swept by the Cubs their first time at Wrigley this year, and then the Cubs went to Cellular Field on the south side, and the White Sox returned the favor.
You've got the Cubs leading the NL Central. You've got the White Sox leading the AL Central and trying to hold off the hard-charging Minnesota Twins, who have won 19 of their last 25.
First time since 1977 that the 2 Chicago teams have been in first place at the break.
1-2 pitch. Quentin strikes out. And we are going to the 14th inning at Yankee Stadium. We have heard this music a lot tonight.
It's like the company's black book. It lists all their agents. The company will do anything to get it back. Don't I know it?
You're gonna have to break into the company's headquarters.
This thing's a kamikaze mission. And guess who's nosediving the plane?
You better have one hell of a plan, Michael.
Who needs luck when I got friends like you fellas?
Prison Break. The new season begins Labor Day on Fox.
What I've been seeing recently, how's it even possible?
Oh, God. You should know what you're getting into.
What happened on the plane is just the beginning.
If someone out there is experimenting, only the whole world is their lab.
Can it be reversed?
It's not good. You've seen it now. You know. So much happened here. So much is about to.
America's Grand Game is on Fox. Manny powers Boston's all-star lineup into a showdown with Vlad and the first-place Angels. Adrian Gonzalez and the Padres square off with Pujols and the Cardinals. Or Utley and the Phillies battle the NL East rival Marlins. This week on Fox Saturday Baseball. Check for the game in your area.
Yankee Stadium in its final season, as big a part of the story tonight as any singular player. And the greats who have called this place home. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig. The 56-game hitting streak started here by Joe DiMaggio and the great Mickey Mantle. Just 4 of the legends Monument Park, which at one time was in play here at Yankee Stadium, now beyond the wall out in left center field. The monuments, the plaques. George Sherrill back to work. McLeod first up, and he launches one into right. Back at the track, J.D. Drew is there for out number 1. Just got under it enough, and McLeod gave this crowd a rise here at Yankee Stadium, but it fell short.
Looking fastball, he gets it, and a sigh of relief from George Sherrill.
The National League and Matt Holliday in particular, who homered into right earlier in this game, disappointed that that fell short. And now Russell Martin. It was 1 for 2 with a bunt, a hit, and he's flied to center, and he has shown the world just how good he is behind home plate defensively. Takes the ball. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Miguel Tejada didn't get into the game until the 6th. But he has been a big part of this one, especially in the extra innings, as Martin fouls it back. And it will get out of play. So Brandon Webb, who was also on that list of, hey, Clint Hurdle, if you can avoid using him, do. Now he gets loose. Scott Kazmir gets loose, who was on that list for Terry Francona. Tim Lincecum, who was maybe available for an inning left and was hospitalized with flu-like symptoms. The San Francisco Giants right-hander, as Russell Martin flies one into right. Drew back to get it, 2 out. So these two managers were a little short-handed coming in, and they are about out of bullets out in that bullpen now.
Well, if you're wondering about George Sherrill, he has now pitched the longest that he's pitched all year, 2 innings. An inning and 2/3 was his high coming into this game.
With 2 out, nobody on, here's Tejada. Strike 1.
Joe, remember, this time it counts.
Yeah.
We think. We hope it counts.
I'm telling you, the minute Kazmir comes into this game, the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll let the Hall of Famers play. Do you have Carlton's cell phone number?
I do.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Young makes the play, and the inning is over. Bottom of the 14th. Who's coming up? Guillen, Sizemore, Longoria. Back after this from your local Fox station.
James Toney takes on Hasim Rahman for the heavyweight title. The best damn championship fight night period. This week on FSN.
Weekdays at 5.
Outrageous. Out of control. Passionate.
And who?
What did you call me?
Explosive.
This is not going to end well.
Get the whole story 5 days a week. The Simpsons.
Weekdays at 5 on Fox 18. Weekdays at 5:30.
Only in Queens.
I smile constantly. People think I'm a lunatic half the time.
Can a man like this,
walrus stuff,
find a woman like this who will love,
Quiet,
honor,
quiet,
and obey
shut up!
every day? This special man is
Did I happen to mention that I'm bottomless right now?
the King of Queens.
Weekdays at 5:30 on Fox 18.
You know what, Carrie? I'm a delicious piece of man meat, and you're just gonna have to learn to deal with it.
Weeknights at 6.
2.5 Men presents Manly Rule number 31. Respect your elders.
Mom?
Hang on, dear.
Hello?
Alan, I'm in the neighborhood, and I know how Charlie hates it when I just drop in unannounced. So I thought I'd call first.
Charlie, Mom's coming over. Tell her I'm not here.
5 nights a week, it's 2.5 Men.
Weeknights at 6 on Fox 18. Weeknights at 9:30.
Here in Hollywood, somebody's got to wait on the red carpet to show off the gowns. It's just not us.
Let me see the camera, by the way. Come here.
We're TMZ. The Hollywood stories.
We're giving TMZ TV content here.
You won't see.
We have this unbelievable tape.
I'm a nice guy.
Anywhere else.
You and I, we never,
Somebody's got to keep it real.
I'm just like you.
TMZ.
Weeknights at 9:30 on Fox 18. Turn on the Fox 18 nightlight with an hour of Raymond. Weeknights at 10 on Fox 18.
We just had our second 7th inning stretch in this All-Star game as we're in the middle of the 14th inning, and Derek Jeter's making fans happy by signing autographs during the game, and Brandon Webb takes over on the mound. He threw 108 pitches on Sunday. But the big league's only 13-game winner. That's why he was on the list of don't use him unless you have to. Well, they have to. The only other pitcher down there now for the National League, and again, they do not have Tim Lincecum, who's sick, is the closer Lidge. Line drive is caught by Tejada. Hard hit, 1 out.
But Tejada has just played a terrific second half of the ball game. All over the place.
Brandon Webb, who is in his 6th season in Arizona, is a 3rd-time All-Star now. Started this season 9-0. Cy Young Award winner in 2006. And has the most wins in the National League since the start of 2006. And there's that power sinker. There is nobody in the game among starting pitchers who has a better sinker than Brandon Webb. The 0-1 skips in there. In case you're wondering, the longest All-Star game, 15 innings in 1967. Our partner Tim McCarver was 2 for 2 in that game.
Don Drysdale the winner, Tom Seaver with the save.
And now Mr. Lonely out of the bullpen is Brad Lidge, the closer from the Phillies for the National League. 2-1 pitch. Grady Sizemore over the top of that pitch. It's 2-2. With 1 out, nobody on, 2-2 delivery. Sizemore fouls it. Again, Grady has been popping home runs at a personal record pace. And inviting right field. See Sizemore out in front of that pitch as Brandon Webb completely fooled him for out number 2.
Well, that ball went down like a screwball. You're right. I mean, Sizemore, after being ahead in the count, found it even and strikes out against Webb.
It started with Ben Sheets, then Zambrano, Herron, Volquez, Wilson, Wagner, Dempster, Aaron Cook for 3, Marmol for 1, and now Webb. With 2 out, here's the rookie again, Evan Longoria. Longoria won the American League's internet vote. Takes a strike. Beat out Jermaine Dye, who was second on that list. In the 16 home runs that he has hit, the most home runs of the All-Star break by a rookie since Tim Salmon had 17 in 1993. That is strike two. 2-2 now on Longoria. Corey Hart, as you saw with the 8 million votes, got the NL nod. He's in the lineup now and in this ball game. And Longoria, with his 16 home runs, waits for a 2-2 pitch and strikes out. 2 strikeouts in the 14th inning for Brandon Webb. We go to the 15th. What a game, I'll say. Tied at 3.
Here's the windup. The pitch is low.
You want passion? You've come to the right place. This is America. Passion was invented here. In your face, my team rocks. Your team couldn't hit the side of a barn. Passion. And only at Bank of America can you wear your passion on your card. That's my expression banking. You're not just someone with a dull plastic card. You're someone with heart. A little out there, but with heart. Want to let the world know where your passions lie? You can with Bank of America. Bank of Opportunity.
All right, you ding-dongs. Can any of you tell me what's on top of every Fatista freeze?
I don't know what it is.
Real strawberries. Good day, gentlemen.
I don't know what it is.
Dear Diary, I love Fruitista Freeze. More tomorrow, Bobby.
Escape the everyday with Taco Bell's new Fruitista Freeze. A refreshing blend of strawberry and mango flavors that's topped with real strawberries. To refresh your day, think outside the bun.
Everyone thinks I was sent to terminate John Connor. Really, I just want to hang out and watch his DirecTV. He just got 4 months of their best TV package for free. Maybe I need to work on my people skills. Get out.
Terminate cable and get our best offer of the year. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
First base, $58. Second base, 630 pesos. Third base, 300,000 yen. Home, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's credit or debit MasterCard. Fan of the game, wherever there's a game.
Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by the DirecTV HD Starship. Get over 130 of your favorite channels in HD this summer. We are now into the 15th inning here at Yankee Stadium. And Dan Uggla gets another at bat, hitting against Scott Kazmir, who was over 100 pitches on Sunday for the Rays. Meanwhile, the Rays, by the way, have lost 7 straight and lost their top spot in the AL East. They're only a half game out. Kazmir started this season on the DL. You can see he's got the good fastball, and the count evens 1 ball, 1 strike on Dan Uggla. Uggla, then Adrian Gonzalez, then David Wright. 3-3 game in the 15th. That's strike 2.
A little more than 24 hours ago, Bud Selig was on David Letterman. And one of the things that David did not ask Bud was, what if it's a tie tomorrow night?
The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. And a strikeout of Uggla. And let's say this. And I know we've talked about this plenty already tonight, but it's worth saying that we know Terry Francona well enough to know that whatever he has in his mind after talking with the Tampa Bay Rays and after talking with Scott Kazmir since they all got to New York, he has a number of pitches in his mind, and once Kazmir gets to that point, like it or not,
that's right,
Terry Francona will say enough.
Yep.
He will not send Scott Kazmir back to the Rays completely overextended on this night as he bounces one in there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gonzalez. Whatever the ramifications, there's really nothing for Terry Francona to look at in that dugout or on that lineup card. He is tapped. The 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Douglas struck out. Gonzalez, a ton of power, chases one, 2-2. Last year, at the age of 23, Scott Kazmir led the American League in strikeouts with 239, the youngest to do it in the American League since Frank Tanana in 1975. He can rack them up. A floater into left field, and after going back, coming in to make the catch is Quinton. How about more on Scott Kazmir? Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, I exchanged text messages late in this game with Rays general manager Andrew Friedman, and he confirmed what Terry Francona said. The Rays' preference was for Scott Kazmir not to pitch in this game simply because he threw 104 pitches on Sunday, had the arm injury earlier. Their plan is for him to start on Saturday.
Yeah, they want him to come right back and work on Saturday. He'll end up with no rest. As you can see, the ball just jumps out of his hand. 95 miles per hour. Came up in the Mets organization for a brief while, traded away, and Tampa Bay organization got the better of that deal. 1-0 pitch. This guy's an all-world talent, and David Wright of the Mets is dropped to the dirt.
So how do you solve this problem of the possibility of a tie? Do you expand the rosters? Do you say you can't, a pitcher cannot pitch in the All-Star game if he pitches on Sunday, if the All-Star game is on Tuesday? I don't know.
Here's a 2-0 now. 3-0. I think that's part of it. I mean, these two managers came into the game, and for the National League, you know, Clint Hurdle was shorthanded with those starters, guys who could eat innings because so many of the good ones had worked on Sunday. There's a 4-pitch walk to David Wright with 2 out. Lincecum, who is just one of the most dynamic young pitchers to come along in a long while, worked on Sunday, got his 11th win at Wrigley Field over the Cubs. He was unavailable. Brandon Webb, who worked on Sunday, unavailable. Here's Christian Guzman with a runner at first, 2 out. The other name is Dempster. Here's a ground ball to first. He worked on Sunday. That ball almost got through the webbing, the glove of Morneau. We go to the bottom of the 15th inning. AL coming up, tied at 3.
Precision pays off. J.D. Power & Associates' highest-ranked mid-size car in initial quality. The all-new Chevy Malibu. Built to last. Built to love.
Here we go again. On August 1st.
Sorry, pal. There's a mummy on the loose.
Beyond death. Beyond imagination.
Hey, Mom, they never play fair.
Lies an adventure that will live for all eternity.
Hang on.
The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Rated PG-13.
Ground ball right side, base hit. Tying run is in. 2 down, bottom of the 9th. Drive on the air. Deep left field. Batsman, a game-winning
place where the love of the game is the real souvenir? I'm there.
State Farm, proud sponsor of Major League Moments everywhere.
And Pinilla's out to argue.
What a great call. You're doing a fantastic job, but people expect me to come out here and be upset, so I'm going to kick some dirt. You understand? Yeah, I understand that. Well, lately I've been feeling happy and content. Yeah, you seem different.
Lou is really giving it to him.
You better kick me out of this game. I've got a reputation to uphold. Fine, you're out of here. Say hello to the missus.
I will. You do the same. Drinking water makes you feel better and a lot less irritable. So make your body happy. Drink Aquafina.
Scott Kazmir is in the dugout after working a scoreless top of the 15th inning. He did allow the walk, but got around it. So now we're into the bottom half. Brian McCann takes over behind the plate. And an entirely new battery as Brad Lidge takes over on the mound.
How appropriate, a new battery.
Yeah. Didn't mean to say it, but this game could use one. The longest game, 1967 All-Star game in Anaheim. Tony Perez hit a home run in the top of the 15th inning to provide the National League with a 2-1 win. The longest game in All-Star history. Catfish Hunter working his 5th inning on the mound, surrendered the home run to Perez, and there's Tony 5 hours ago as Brad Lidge, who has been perfect in save chances for the Phillies and was rewarded with a new 3-year deal after being traded from Houston to Philadelphia, takes over. And Morneau has a count of 1-1. So you've got Kazmir, the last man standing for the American League, and you have got Brad Lidge, who's the last man available for the National League. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 1-2 on Morneau.
Kazmir coming into the dugout, and we saw him shake his head yes in response to something that Terry Francona asked him, and one would have to assume the obvious.
Base hit into center. The leadoff man is on. Brandon Webb went 1 inning with 2 strikeouts, and no more for Brandon Webb. It's up to Lidge if the National League wants to have another at bat. And Morneau starts it with a base hit to center. Here comes Kinsler after applause from Kazmir.
Good hitting by Morneau. Expect Kinsler to bunt.
He's swinging and he comes up empty. Not only was he swinging, but the corners of the infield are not pinched in much for the National League. Guzman about even with a bag. Gonzalez holding at first. Another swing, another miss. It's 0-2. Deanna Navarro on deck.
Terry Francona's played it the other way with the sacrifices.
Why not try something different?
Sure.
Kinsler takes a fastball high. There is a concerned manager right there. And there's one in the other dugout as well.
Kevin Youkilis with his rally cap on.
Here's a line drive into left that is caught by Ryan Ludwig. A little stagger at the start, but he comes in to make a diving catch for out number 1.
Scoops it right off the ground. Good catch. Landing on his left arm. So Kinsler hit it hard, but a fine play by Ludwig extends things. You kidding me?
Well, we have seen it all here tonight. The Hall of Famers saluted before the game. Sugar-free Red Bull for Kevin Youkilis. Not wanting to add calories this late at night. And a strike is into Navarro.
Not bad for a guy who has a slump buster power drink out. He had a couple of cases up in his locker the other day. It's almost like it's on cue, like he was listening to us.
Here's an 0-1. Navarro takes ball 1. DeHonor is hitless. He has had 4 plate appearances. He's drawn 1 walk. 0 for 3. Then he was thrown out at the plate by Nate McClouth on a sensational tag by Russell Martin. That was back in the 11th. Navarro gets one off the end of the bat. Base hit into center. Morneau will think about going to third but hold, and that was the right decision. And now with 2 on, 1 out, here comes J.D. Drew.
It's interesting. The crowd here at Yankee Stadium, I believe, wanted Morneau to go to third base, but closing on that ball very quickly was Nate McClouth, and Morneau would have been out had he tried it.
Here is J.D. Drew. He could be the hero. He could end a long evening and early morning of baseball. He has hit a 2-run home run. He has singled. He has reached on an error and stolen a base. He could end this with a hit. Bottom of the 15th inning, ball 1. J.D. Drew hit his 7th inning home run at 10:54 p.m. on All-Star Tuesday night. It's now 1:33 in the morning on Wednesday. And a 1-0 pitch. Good delivery from Lidge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brad Lidge, like Mariano Rivera, as I mentioned, perfect on the season in save opportunities. This is not one of those. He's just trying to get it into the 16th. The 1-1 pitch. Drew. J.D. Drew could take his manager Terry Francona off the hook, allow him to exhale, avoid having to send Kazmir out for another inning. If he can figure out Brad Lidge. 2 on, 1 out. 2-1 pitch is shot foul. 2-2. Runners on at first and second. Morneau, the lead man, and that skips in. McCann, who is getting his first action, blocks it. That was a good play and an important play with 1 out.
Very difficult to block fastballs in the dirt. You don't anticipate those balls being in the dirt. And think of the unfamiliar way that McCann has of receiving the ball from Brad Lidge. He's hit against him but never caught him.
Can J.D. Drew end it? 3-2 pitch. Fouled off the end of the bat. On deck is Michael Young. Morneau and DeHonor Navarro are the runners. Home field advantage in the upcoming World Series hanging in the balance. 3-2 pitch is in the dirt. That loads the bases, and Michael Young can end it. J.D. Drew is on base for the 4th time tonight in 5 plate appearances. And here we go again.
Michael Young tried to end it in the 11th inning. And the great play by McClouth, the better play by Russell Martin to get Navarro at home plate.
Bases loaded, 1 out. 3-3 in the bottom of the 15th inning. Michael Young pops it up. Right field. Corey Hart. Morneau tags at third. Here we go. Throw by Hart to the plate. And safe. This game is over. Morneau scores. Terry Francona exhales. And the American League has won again, and they will have home field advantage in the upcoming World Series, and there is nobody happier in this park than Terry Francona.
Now, Terry Francona, not the only guy exhaling. He's got company.
Avoiding having to play another inning. Corey Hart got his momentum going. Through to the plate. The tag by McCann was just late. Morneau in just ahead of the tag, and this game, 4 hours and 50 minutes after it started, is over with the AL winning it in 15, 4-3. And that's how close we were to playing into the 16th inning. Kazmir is the winner. Lidge is the loser. And a hug from Terry Francona to Jim Leland to Brad Mills. And again, it's Michael Young who delivers the key RBI for the American League, as he did 2 years ago in Pittsburgh. The American League has won the last 11 straight decisions, excluding that tie in 2002, and we came close to another tie here in 2008. Coming up, the presentation of the most valuable player on our Chevy postgame show. The Chevy MVP presentation is coming up.
Was a local police officer justified in using deadly force during a shootout? Well, first on Fox, get the answer from investigators and hear the 911 calls during the incident in East Moline. That's coming up after the All-Star game on Fox 18.
It was a time of uncertainty, hope, and change. The summer of love. Half a world away, another kind of love. Of country. John McCain. Shot down, bayoneted, tortured. Offered early release, he said no. He had sworn an oath. Home, he turned to public service. His philosophy, before party, polls, and self. America. A maverick. John McCain tackled campaign reform, military reform, spending reform. He took on presidents, partisans, and popular opinion. He believes our world is dangerous, our economy in shambles. John McCain doesn't always tell us what we hope to hear. Beautiful words cannot make our lives better, but a man who has always put his country and her people before self, before politics, can. Don't hope for a better life. Vote for one. McCain.
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
I am frozen custard, unique, delicious, and brought to your table with but one purpose, to make you happy. Yeah. Some have called me ice cream. That's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. They just haven't been Culverized yet. Enjoy.
Culver's. Get Culverized. Think thick with a concrete mixer. Fresh frozen custard with your choice of over 30 mix-ins.
Oh, a wedding cake.
You mean there's been cake in our freezer for 11 years? Why was I not informed?
Laugh out loud with The Simpsons. Tomorrow at 5 on Fox 18.
Oh, leave it.
What was it?
It's a special on the Aztec ruins.
Unless it's boobs or football, I ain't slowing down.
Laugh out loud with the King of Queens. Tomorrow at 5:30 on Fox 18.
She's smart, she has a great sense of humor, and in bed, she moves like one of those paint shakers at Sherwin-Williams.
Laugh out loud with 2.5 Men. Tomorrow at 6 on Fox 18.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
We welcome you to the Chevy All-Star postgame show on Fox. Chevy, an American Revolution. 4 hours, 50 minutes. The time of game, 15 innings. Kazmir over Lidge. The American League is unbeaten in the last 12 All-Star games. They've won the last 11 straight decisions with that tie mixed in. You talk about a guy with relief. That was Terry Francona not having to send Scott Kazmir back to the mound. When we come back, we will present the MVP award to the most valuable player of this All-Star game.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd.
Baby Ruth is proud to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. See the videos at MLB.com/BabyRuth.
Niagara Falls, the ultimate torture test for a deck. The ultimate protection, Thompson's Water Seal. Chosen to protect the most water-drenched decks in America. The decks at Niagara Falls. Thompson's Water Seal. The most powerful protection against water damage, guaranteed.
Space is infinite, but it's my job to shrink it. I work for an Air and Space Museum, and I take the largest objects in the universe and bring them down in size. So when my doctor said that my going and going could get worse because my prostate was growing, I said, how can we shrink it? He said, Avodart. Avodart is different because over time, it actually shrinks the prostate, so I go less often. Other medicines, they don't treat the cause because they don't shrink the prostate.
Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely sexual side effects, swelling, or tenderness of the breasts can occur. Only your healthcare professional can determine if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not prostate cancer. So have regular exams. Ask your doctor about Avodart today. It's your growing problem. It's our job to shrink it. Avodart.
Look at this. I'm a free man. I go anywhere I want now and trade. E-Trade Mobile Pro. Right on my BlackBerry. Wait, yeah, get an email. Oh, you're a bad girl. Man. Anyway, you know, I get streaming quotes on the... God, relentless. Hang on a sec. Hey, girl, can I hit you back?
New E-Trade Mobile Pro. Trade stocks, get streaming quotes anytime, anywhere. There are 1,000 new accounts a day at E-Trade.
3 balls and a strike to count to Brent Johnson. 1 out, top of the 7th inning. Fresno 2, Tacoma 1. Santos in a jam. That swung on and driven deep down the left field line toward the corner, and this ball is going to be... Oh, it's caught! It's not Jake Wald. It's the ball girl who makes the catch. She just sort of tosses him the ball, saying, take that, Jake.
When performance counts, it takes more than water.
Oh, my. What an amazing play. And now look at her sitting there saying, no big deal, like nothing ever happened.
All right, you ding-dongs. Can any of you tell me what's on top of every Fatista freeze?
I don't know what it is.
Real strawberries. Good day, gentlemen.
I don't know what it is.
Dear Diary, I love Fatista freeze. More tomorrow, Bobby.
Escape the everyday with Taco Bell's new Frutista Freeze, a refreshing blend of strawberry and mango flavors that's topped with real strawberries. To refresh your day, think outside the bun.
Welcome back to the Chevy All-Star postgame show on Fox. Chevy, an American revolution. Let's go down to the field in Jeannie Zelasco.
And Joe Buck, this is the city that never sleeps because they're constantly playing baseball, but this one has come to a close. We are joined by Commissioner Bud Selig. He will present the Most Valuable Player Trophy Award, the Ted Williams Award, to...
It is my pleasure to present the Chevy Most Valuable Player in the 2008 All-Star Game to a very deserving J.D. Thru.
Who happens to be wearing a Red Sox uniform right here in Yankee Stadium. Isn't it beautiful? Of course, joined by Chevrolet North American Vice President Ed Pieper with another presentation for you.
Thank you, Jeannie. And on behalf of Chevrolet, I want to thank all the great baseball fans that are left here tonight. You're the best. as America's brand, we had a great time sponsoring the red carpet parade and the game tonight. And it's our pleasure, JD, to present you with the keys to a new 2009 Chevy Tahoe Hybrid, our MVP of MPG. Thank you and congratulations.
Ready to give everybody here a ride home? Your first at bat, you hit a home run, and then you're walking off tonight with the MVP. Unbelievable evening, yes?
Yeah, one of those undescribable events. To be voted in by the players and to be in this position is really an honor.
I don't know, Joe. They were worried about a David Ortiz jersey being buried at the new ballpark, and they're sending this one off for the gentleman in a Red Sox uniform. We'll have to flesh that out. Joe Buck, back to you.
All right, Jeannie, thank you, and congratulations to J.D. Drew. He hit a homer in the 7th. He singled in the 11th. Reached on an Aristola base in the 13th. Walked in the 15th. He didn't get into the action until the 6th. He was a big part of this one for the AL. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. For more information on tonight's game and the latest in Major League Baseball news, log on to foxsports.com, powered by MSN. This week, Fox Saturday Baseball, the Red Sox take on the Angels, Padres, and Cardinals, Phillies, and Marlins. Coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific with a pregame show. For Tim and Ken and Eric and Kevin and Jeannie and everybody who set this up, it was a long night worth every minute of it. We say so long from the house that Ruth built.
Just got better. Super Bowl champion Michael Strahan joins America's #1 pregame show. Fox NFL Sunday returns this September.
Feed your family for less at KFC. Right now, bring home dinner and dessert with an 8-piece double mash mega meal, just $17.99. Now that's value. 8 pieces of finger-licking good, original recipe or extra crispy chicken, 2 large mashed potatoes with gravy, large coleslaw, and 4 buttermilk biscuits. Plus, to top it all off, a double chocolate chip cake. And this 8-piece double mash mega meal, complete with dessert, is just $17.99. Hey, that beats pizza any day. You want value? It's here, only at KFC.
Take the Quad City Suzuki Challenge and we'll show you how a new Suzuki will actually cost you less to drive than the car you're currently making payments on, or we'll give you a gift card worth up to $500. That's right, save at the pump, save on maintenance and repairs, and drive a new Suzuki today. Like the gas-saving Forenza or the all-new SX4 with 37 miles per gallon. Take the Quad City Suzuki Challenge only at Quad City Suzuki, where you'll always be another satisfied customer.
Call 1-877-5-GO-SUZUKI. First 25 callers receive a free gift.
Did you know that with 1 hour of training, you can jump out of a plane? With 1 week of training, you can do it alone. With 4 weeks, you can fly the plane you jumped out of. But it takes 8 weeks of training to become a customer service associate at US Cellular. Maybe that's why we have the most loyal customers in the industry.
Hey, you youngsters! Want to win tickets to the Tony Hawk's Boom Boom Puck Jam? Watch The Simpsons and win with the iWireless Center and the Fox 18.
Feel the joy with McDonald's and Coca-Cola.
And right now, grab a large sweet tea, Coke, or other soft drink for just $1. Cool.
Nothing surprises me anymore. I always knew he'd return. Scorcher. I knew he'd be back for more. I guess some old souls never learn. Luckily, I never get tired of teaching. Defending comfort is my calling. I am Bryant Man.
Call J.L. Brady Company today for the best rebates around.
Investigators answer the question of whether a local police officer was justified when shooting a suspect.
Well, as he reached for his taser, he heard 2 shots and felt 2 rounds hit his vest that he was wearing.
First on Fox, hear their decision and the 911 calls during the deadly gunfight. That's our big story tonight at 9.
You're watching Fox 18 9 o'clock news.
Good evening. I'm John Beard.
And I'm Libby Allison. Thanks for staying up late with us tonight. Investigators say an East Moline police officer was justified in using deadly force during a shootout in April.
Yeah, 21-year-old Kelton Trice was shot and killed. Police were trying to arrest him on an armed robbery warrant. The officer, Sergeant Tom Peterson. Trice shot him twice, but Peterson's body armor saved him. Peterson returned fire, hitting Trice 4 times.
I have concluded that Sergeant Tom Peterson was justified in his use of force against Kelton Trice.
The shootout happened April 16th on the 1000 block of 17th Street. Today, police released the details of their investigation. It includes the 911 calls from Peterson to police dispatch during the shootout. Officials explained the evidence and their decision that Peterson acted appropriately. First on Fox, Kurt Liskey has more.
When Kelton Trice took off running the afternoon of April 16th, he led police on a chase that would ultimately leave an officer shot twice and Kelton Trice mortally wounded.
Mr. Trice pulled his gun out, pointed it at Officer Drobny, and fired 1 round in Officer Drobny's direction.
Did I copy shots fired? Shots fired! Are you okay?
No one was hit by Trice's first round of shots. The chase then continued and eventually came to a halt with Trice and Sergeant Peterson standing face to face, each with guns drawn.
Trice's words were, "No, Peterson, no." Apparently Trice was crying at that time.
At this point, Trice reportedly began lowering his gun. When Sergeant Peterson saw this, he looked down and began reaching for his taser. In that moment, Peterson was hit by 2 shots from Trice's gun.
I've been hit twice. Suspect is hit.
With a bullet lodged in the left side of his Kevlar vest and another that had ricocheted off the stomach portion, Sergeant Peterson managed to return 5 shots at Kelton Trice, 4 of them hitting their mark.
Kelton Trice was armed with a firearm and pointed it at Sergeant Peterson. That in and of itself would be enough for justifiable use of force.
Tonight, Sergeant Tom Peterson is recovering from his gunshot wounds, and the East Moline police chief tells us that because he's been cleared of any wrongdoing, Sergeant Peterson will be returning to work just as soon as he gets a doctor's okay. In the newsroom, Kurt Liskey, Fox 18 News.
After the shootout, many in the neighborhood were angry. East Moline police say they have been preparing for today's news, and they are increasing patrols to make sure any potential protests do not get out of hand. Trice was wanted in connection with a string of armed robberies, nearly 20 dating back to March and April, among them 3 at various Burke Cleaners locations, 1 Domino's Pizza, a cell phone store, and a gas station. Police arrested several other men in connection with those crimes.
87 years in prison for an Illinois man who killed his girlfriend's toddler. 36-year-old Robert Johnson of Joliet was sentenced yesterday. In February, he was convicted of killing 17-month-old Trevon Joseph in 2002. Authorities say the child suffered skull fractures consistent with being beaten. A Rock Island County jury finds Pacino Hill not guilty on a charge stemming from a police chase last year. It started in Rock Island and ended across the river in Davenport. In Scott County, the 29-year-old was sentenced to probation and 8 Sundays in church for the chase. He then served 30 days in jail for violating that probation. Hill has been arrested dozens of times over the years and gone to prison in connection with a murder.
Guests and employees of a Burlington bar may have been exposed to hepatitis A. That's according to the Iowa Department of Public Health. They say a worker at Whitey's Bar and Billiards carried the virus. Hepatitis A is a liver disease that can be spread through food and drinks. If you were in Whitey's Bar and Billiards in Burlington from July 2nd through the 13th, you are advised to get a vaccine shot immediately. For more information on how, call 319-753-8700. So far, no infections have been reported.
Protesters are planning a rally in Iowa at the site of the biggest single immigration raid in U.S. history. Religious leaders and immigration reform advocates will gather in Postville July 27th. They say America's immigration policies are hurting the country and they want reform. Jewish and Catholic groups from 3 states are planning the protest. May 12th, federal agents arrested nearly 400 people at the agri-processors plant. Well, time now for a first look at our forecast. Meteorologist Evan Hutchinson is in the Weather Center with more. Evan?
Well, it'll be partly cloudy as we head through our overnight hours tonight. A great Tuesday today, and it's going to be even better on Wednesday. Plenty of sunshine, warm temperatures. That's what we should be having this time of year. Now, as we go through our Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny, maybe a few high clouds moving through the area. We're not expecting any showers or thunderstorms, but as we get into the weekend, our chance of storms does increase. Now, I have complete details on your forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Evan. Iowa City and Coralville will soon begin removing the millions of sandbags left over from last month's flooding. The water has dropped enough that city leaders say it's finally safe to move them. Cedar Rapids has already removed most of its sandbags. In Iowa City, the University of Iowa will leave its sandbags in place for at least through the end of the month. There were nearly 4 million sandbags in these 3 towns during the flooding.
Crews are removing a partially submerged barge from the Mississippi at the base of a bridge in Dubuque. It's the last remnant of an accident between a tow of 15 barges and a bridge support back on June 9th. Several barges broke loose but were quickly corralled. One sank. The removal project should take several days. A Kelowna, Illinois man is safe tonight after his boat sinks in the Mississippi River. Denny West was fishing alone at the time of the incident. According to West, he was trying to pull up the anchor on his 16-foot John boat. He was having trouble and turned his engine on to try and pop the anchor loose. When he revved the engine, the anchor stayed and the back end of his boat began to take on water.
Yeah, my life vest was laying on my seat, but I had it sitting up on my seat, and that's the first thing I thought about was that life vest, and I snatched it up, laid it underneath me so I could swim.
West says his boat sank in less than 20 seconds. Moline firefighters were called to the scene, but West managed to swim to shore uninjured before rescuers could get a boat in the water.
Illinois lawmakers consider reversing some of Governor Rod Blagojevich's budget cuts. Earlier, he vetoed $1.4 billion from next year's budget. No word yet if the House has the votes to override the cuts. Even if members do, the Senate would have to follow suit. There's no sign senators will cooperate. Several popular local sites face possible closings. One, Black Hawk State Park. The cuts eliminate money to operate the facility. Those opposed are holding a meeting tonight to rally support. And there's still lots more to come.
A look at what's making headlines overseas when we go around the world in 80 seconds. Plus, a superbug that earlier swept through the Quad City area. Now progress in the fight against the drug-resistant bacteria.
And getting older could give you something to be happy about. These stories and more are coming up next. All the news you need to know will continue on the Fox 18 9 o'clock news.
My fibromyalgia muscle pain wasn't something you could see, but I felt it all over. Some days I had to push myself to leave the house and do everyday things. Then my doctor told me about prescription Lyrica. It's not an antidepressant. Lyrica is FDA approved for fibromyalgia.
And clinical studies have shown that Lyrica can help reduce the unique pain of fibromyalgia and improve function.
So now I have less pain, and I can do more during my day.
Lyrica is not for everyone. Tell your doctor about any serious allergic reaction that causes swelling or affects breathing or skin or changes in eyesight, including blurry vision or muscle pain with fever or tired feeling. Some of the most common side effects of Lyrica are dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, and swelling of hands and feet. Do not drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. You should not drive or operate machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you.
Help for fibromyalgia pain can start here. Ask your doctor about Lyrica.
Go beyond relaxation with an Elger Whirlpool from Menards. All Elger Whirlpools are now on sale. The Cypress features 5 jets and is just $369, or stretch out in this emblem tub. It features 6 fully adjustable jets for maximum comfort, $729. All ceramic, porcelain, and natural stone tile is 20% off. Choose from a wide variety of tile, including easy-to-install Snapstone. Just snap together and grout, only $439 a square foot.
Save big money at Menards.
Trade up to better fuel economy at the Chevy Model Year-End event. Get $1,750 total purchase cash on all 2008 Chevy Impala models.
Laugh Out Loud with 2.5 Men, tomorrow at 6 on Fox 18.
You're watching the Fox 18 9 o'clock news. Proud to serve the communities of Mount Pleasant, Princeton, and Oneida.
Scientists say they're close to a vaccine for a superbug that swept through the Quad Cities last year.
At issue, the drug-resistant staph infection known as MRSA. It causes disfiguration on the skin and can burrow into the body where it can be fatal. British researchers say they are making progress on a vaccine that could be ready in 10 years. Last fall, a MRSA outbreak swept through the country, proving fatal in some cases. As we reported back then, the bacteria showed up in several schools in our area. They included Adams Elementary in Davenport, as well as schools in the Clinton and Muscatine districts.
A new study shows people generally get happier as they age. Researchers interviewed 50,000 people once a year since 1972. Each time they asked the same people the same questions. The results show older adults reported more health issues, but had fewer problems in their personal and financial lives. Overall, they said they were happier. The opposite was true for younger adults, who were more likely to be unhappy. Overseas now, a koala survives a car accident in Australia, and white lions give birth in Germany. Fox's Shepard Smith takes us around the world in 80 seconds.
United Kingdom, a U.S. Air Force captain putting the F-22 Raptor through its paces at the Farnborough International Air Show. It's the world's largest aircraft sales event, although analysts expect fewer orders this year because of fuel prices. Oil-rich Mideast nations picking up some of the slack, signing orders for about 150 aircraft worth more than $25 billion. Australia, staffers at a wildlife hospital in Queensland not sure why this koala is still alive. The 8-year-old male reportedly hit by a car going 60 miles an hour, then dragged for 7 miles. A woman who saw it told the driver, "Excuse me, but you have a koala stuck in the grill of your car." The Philippines. The high cost of fuel is making life tough on jeepney drivers in Manila. Some now sleep in their vehicles so they can be first in line to pick up passengers in the morning. Jeepneys are the cheapest motorized transport in a nation where about 1/3 of people reportedly get by on less than $1 a day. Germany. Here are 3 of the 7 white lion cubs born to 2 different mothers at a safari park last week. 4 males and 3 females born on the same day. And that's a wrap on this Fox trip around the world in 80 seconds.
They're little now.
They get big, they have sharp teeth, sharp claws. Evan's here now to talk about the weather. Not bad out there today.
No, it was great out there today, and more of it for your Wednesday. Not expecting any shower or thunderstorm activity. 88 degrees was our high today. A couple degrees warmer for your Wednesday. I'll have details in a few minutes.
But first, here's a look at how the markets fared today. Stay tuned to Fox 18.
Is your little pup buckled up? This message is brought to you by Arnold's Body Shop. Get Arnold's care. Woof.
For more than 50 years, Blaine's Farm and Fleet has been supplying families with all kinds of quality goods at low prices. And for those big bags of supplies you need for everyday living, no other store offers more. At Farm and Fleet, you'll find water softener salt, a big selection of food for your pets, lots of food for the birds, and an extensive line of agricultural feeds and supplements. You'll appreciate their tradition of convenience, quality, and value. For big bags and more, Blaine's Farm and Fleet is your store.
You should know what you're getting into, Agent Dunham.
Someone out there is experimenting on the whole world as their lab.
I've got some questions for you.
Coming this fall to Fox 18.
2.5 Men presents Manly Rule number 7. Honesty is the best policy.
Whoa, whose is this?
Charlie, you want to field that one?
Jake, sometimes when you have a casual sexual relation...
All right.
5 nights a week, it's 2.5 Men.
Tomorrow at 6 on Fox 18.
On the next morning show, before you lift or pull,
get the ugly truth about looking beautiful.
10 cosmetic procedures to avoid.
Tomorrow morning at 8 on Fox 18.
Furniture buyers, here it is. You've heard about it. You've read about it. It's been all over the TV and the radio. This is the bankruptcy liquidation, the going out of business sale here at Clavon's Home Furnishings. 2 great locations right here next to Sam's in Davenport, over on State Street in downtown.